So today we lost an hour. Today is also International Women's Day. So leave it to a man, okay, to to find a way to screw women again, right? By taking 1 hour out of their day.
Yes, this is true.
And selling them short. So instead of 24-hour International Women's Day, instead of it being 24 hours, it's 23 hours. So happy International Women's Day. Men screwed you again.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the TOWTalk Podcast. My name's Denise. I'm here with Neil. Today is Sunday, March 8th. Got a new look. Huh? Less dark. We want a little brightness, little sunshine in the background. And yeah. So first of all, I want to welcome our new followers. We got a bunch of new followers this week, and I know a lot of people have been watching, but you haven't been subscribing. It is so important. If you can help us out, subscribe, like, and share us. We've gotten some positive feedback, and so we're trying to keep you informed, share information with you that you might not get from others in the pro-democracy movement. But by all means, if I mention any podcasts here, please make sure you like and share those people too. It's so important for the algorithm that we support each other, lift us up so our voices can be heard by more people out there. So let's get into it. So today is day 8 of World War. I don't even know what we're calling this now. Is it a war? Is it an action? I don't know. You
I think it's a
can't
I think they refer to these as police actions.
police actions with thousands
Right.
of bombs.
I think people remember what those were like,
Yes,
you know?
exactly. I mean, I don't even know how to describe what's happening here. Every day, then every minute, there's a new piece of information. I, there's now a 7th person that they're announcing has been killed in action. And there's a hint that we may be going boots on the ground. And now, just today, Trump, sort of in passing, said they were thinking about a draft. And so, something like that definitely impacts us here at home as well as across the country. Neil, give me your thoughts. How do you feel where this is going?
All of the above. So the short term, what we're looking at is obviously increasing gas prices.
Yeah,
Um,
we're already
you
seeing that.
know, so we're already seeing that. So last Sunday, here locally in the Hudson Valley, um, we were somewhere around, I want to say 269, a gallon. Today, we were somewhere around 309 a gallon.
Yeah,
So it is definitely going up. I believe that they are talking about over $110 a
a
barrel
barrel. Yep.
sometime coming up this week. That usually means over $4 a gallon, on average in the United States. Anything usually over 80 usually means somewhere over $4 a gallon. We're actually headed towards, from my understanding of commodities, all commodities, we might be heading towards $7, $8 a
I've
gallon.
heard that. I've heard about 7
Yeah,
is the number I've heard. So,
yeah.
and about how that'll happen pretty quickly, or you think maybe a couple of months down the road, or a few weeks?
So, we're gonna try something new, right? Like this is where we are, right? It's like, oh, we're gonna try something new. So the big deal is in the last 100+ years or whatever in modern history, the Straits of Hormuz has never been closed.
Okay.
Never been closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a
Um,
first.
never. This is the first time in modern history that we've seen anything like this. So, the US is gonna try something. Basically, what that means is it's putting our soldiers and our military, our Navy, between the cargo ships or the ships that are going to be going through the strait and the bombs that are going to be headed toward them. Basically that's a what they call that is they're going to basically give them
Some
try to give
protection.
them cover protection as they're going through the strait.
I heard
So,
this, and, the
yeah.
Iranians were like, "Yeah, we're gonna be waiting for you. Go for it."
Well, here's the thing. It just takes sinking one. It just takes one getting hit. One of them gets hit, that closes. I mean, you're talking about a 2-mile wide stretch,
Yeah.
right? Like it's only 2 miles that these ships are big tanker ships. So we're going to escort 4 at a time, and you're only talking about a path that's only 2 miles wide on either side.
Yeah.
So it and so what you're looking at is you're looking at I think they said something around 20 or 30% of the world's oil comes through
Through the
that
strait.
strait. I think somewhere around 30 or 40%, I want to say, of the world's fertilizer comes through the strait as well. It's a major cargo it's a major hub basically. It's what you would consider to be an artery, right? So
Yes.
if you were to look at your heart, and the world is a heart, like as
It's
much
the aorta.
as much as MAGA loves to think that we could isolate, there is a global economy out there, right? And if you were to take the heart of that global economy is really oil, okay? You might disagree with that one way or the other, but look at every product, everything that gets delivered, everything that you consume, there there needs to be some type of energy that goes into that, right? 20 to 40% of the cost of whatever that good or service is usually energy costs.
Yes.
Okay. And behind that is your oil. Okay. So if if oil is your heart, okay, then the Strait of Hormuz is the artery.
Yeah.
And basically what you've done is you've clogged an artery. Well, what happens when you clog an artery? You have a heart
Have
attack,
a heart attack. Yeah.
right? So this is what we would look at as being a worldwide heart attack. Okay, is the best way to look at it. So they're saying if they can't get ships through the strait, um, we have about 3 weeks. If that gets shut down, the entire world shuts down. You're talking about a global recession, the likes of which we have never seen in our lifetimes. I'm
Wow.
not even sure that any lifetime has ever seen anything like this. You're talking about global devastation. You're talking about China going dark
China.
altogether. China would go dark altogether. You're talking about Russia having issues. You're talking about worldwide factories shutting down, um, global supply chain. You people like this is what boggles my mind. We live in a world, okay, we are all reliant on everybody else in what is called the global supply chain. You may not like it, you may not want to be a part of it. You may decide that you don't want to rely on Chinese goods for whatever it is that you have in your home. But at the end of the day, that those, you know, whatever it is, a lot of that stuff is made in China. How your refrigerators, your stoves, your whatever it is, right? Like you think about how often a stove breaks. Where's that part coming from?
Yeah, a lot of them come from China.
Right? So, you know, all of a sudden you're talking about a complete breakdown in your global supply chain.
Wow.
Okay? Not to mention the fact that OPEC, Middle Eastern countries, are blaming the US for the chaos that's occurring in the Middle East right now, right? And what again, what MAGA doesn't seem to understand is the United States, what makes the United States run is the dollar, the US dollar. The only thing that makes the US dollar run is the fact that it gets essentially laundered, for a better part of the word,
Yes.
through OPEC, right? Because it's the reserve currency of the world. Okay. So
For the moment.
they're right, they're moving away from the world is moving away from the dollar. A lot of people are dumping their treasuries. Canada has been moving slowly to dumping their treasuries. China is dumping their treasuries. Germany is asking for its gold back that the US currently has possession of, because they don't trust the US to give the gold back. So what people don't understand is gold is very heavy. Gold is very heavy,
Yes.
and it doesn't get transported very well, and it's very expensive to actually transport. So at the reserve, the Federal Reserve in New York, right, down in the basement, they actually have all the gold. They have gold,
Yes.
and it belongs to all these different countries. And what they do is if you've ever been there, and I have, and it's actually really like amazing to have to go in that vault. They essentially have different cages that belong to different countries in the world,
Yes.
right? And when you transact in gold, they go in and they take one of those forklifts and they move the gold from one
Wow.
country to another. Um, Now Germany has said that they don't want their gold stored at the Federal Reserve anymore. They want their physical gold back because they no longer trust the US to ensure that the safety of their gold,
And,
you know.
it's just a matter of time before other countries follow suit. They'll, once Germany does it, you're gonna see other countries. So now we
Well,
have
China did it a while ago.
oh,
China did it a while ago. Yeah.
before or after
China did
Trump.
that ages ago. Oh, they did that during the first Trump administration. I think that was like a long time ago.
They
I
saw the
mean,
writing on the wall.
everybody thinks that this is new. This this drumbeat has been going on for since the 80s, right? Like, I mean, you got to remember something. Like Iran has been being gearing up for this since the 80s. They knew that this was coming. The world knew that this was coming. They just needed a president, right, who was just crazy enough to do it.
And here we are. We're in the midst of craziness. Yeah, so things are gonna get a little bit more expensive, slightly. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
what was
little.
the MAGA the MAGA slogan? A little pain, some pain for a bigger gain down the road. I'm not sure what the gain is on the back end of what is going on here, but the pain's going to be real for everybody.
Can I
Mhm.
I just wanna say one thing,
Yeah,
all right? Fuck all of them, okay?
yeah,
And I'm sorry, listen, I've had enough of this bullshit, right? You have these wealthy billionaire motherfuckers out there saying, I'm unwilling to pay 1 or 2% more, right, in income, right? Like, not even
on
like
the
on
wealth,
their
not
wealth, not even on their capital gains, not even on their passive income, right? Just on their fucking income, right? Which is small to begin with these assholes,
yeah, because I
and they're
had
saying
everything.
we're willing, more than willing to profit, right? They're taking in all these profits, right, from the war, right? They're not sending their kids, right? Their kids are like partying at some like resort in Florida, okay, or wherever the hell they are, okay, or in California, whatever, right? They're not fighting the war. Okay. They're not willing to pay for the war, but they're more than willing to start and keep the war going and profit off the war.
Yeah, yep,
So
and
fuck you.
let our kids go and fight their battles for them. And, and rumor has it, I was, listening to podcast, Secular Talk. I listen to Kyle Kalinske a lot. He had come across, I guess, someone who was in the military had posted that they were turning their phones in. They were taken back from exercises that they were just routine exercises and training, and then they were asked to hand their phones in, which is kind of like the combination of both is kind of like a sign that they're gearing up to be deployed. So, you know, regardless of what they're saying on the front end, on the back end, it looks like boots on the ground is looking more and more like that's going to be a reality, and never a good thing. We did that. We did that for 20 years between Afghanistan and Iraq, and with the help of NATO, we still didn't get anywhere. So I don't know what this is going to be like. Iran is an enormous country, much bigger than Iraq was. It's roughly the size of Alaska with a very rocky terrain. And these people know their country. There's 90 million people in there, and they know their country, and they've been training and preparing for this. And they know how to protect their lands. And we aren't. We're not ready for this. So,
We're
I don't.
not ready for any of
No,
this.
they have no exit
We're not ready
strategy.
for any of this. We have no we have so the United States Strategic Petroleum Reserve has been depleted,
Already?
right? Yeah, because it was depleted a long time ago. It was never re-upped.
Replenished.
It was
Replenished.
never replenished. So because of MAGA and their drill baby drill nonsense, and we need to lower costs and all that kind of crap, right? Now that the war is here, we have no, they've been depleted. So, I mean, like, there's no oil coming in this country. There's none. That's it. Right. And if anybody, there was thought, right? There's been talk about, okay, well, what if we don't sell our oil that we're producing here and refining here to other countries? Well, we have trade agreements.
Mhm.
Okay, we buy goods from Canada, we buy goods from Mexico, we buy goods from South America. Now all of a sudden you're saying we're going to back out of our trade agreements. We're not going to give you oil, right? Because we need to. So that means we're not getting goods, right? That means meat will dry up because we get a lot of meat from South America. That means we get a lot of produce from South America. All of that dries up.
And they've been killing agriculture in this country, like hand over fist, like every day. Dozens, if not hundreds, of farms are filing bankruptcy. So, like our and that it also goes with ranchers, right? Ranchers have been going under. Trump has made some deals with foreign beef, so we're losing our ranchers. I think all we're gonna have is like chicken all day long, and
No,
that's
we're not
gonna
even
go.
gonna have that.
Not even gonna
We're
have
we're
that.
not even gonna have that. Where everything Here's the thing. They do not The people who run this country no longer care about people. They no
Right.
longer care about the people.
That is
Okay?
plainly obvious.
We had so any all the Americans were essentially caught off guard and our consul how many years did we hear about fucking Benghazi? 100 fucking consulates, right, in the Middle East, right, where we just abandoned all our people,
Yeah.
okay? Right? In fact, the only people that we've actually gone in and rescued are MAGA social media influencers. That's it.
You mean right now
Okay?
with this? With
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
The
thought
only ones
everybody
that we
was
did
left.
was no, no, no. No, the United States, right, sent the plane for their MAGA influencers who were over there, right? But everybody else, because they don't care.
Because
They just don't give a
they
shit.
need their theater, they need their actors, their crisis
This is
actors for TV and ratings.
This is this is a private equity corporate takeover of the United States. All they care about is extracting the resources and the wealth from the United States. All they care about from us is that we get left with the debt, okay? And we become commoditized by putting us in prison. That is it. That is the end of the story, right? This does not end any other way, okay? I'm sorry
There's
to
one
say it,
way.
it doesn't. No, I don't think it's us. I don't think it's us. I really have a hard time believing it ends any other way. I don't see it. I don't see the way out. I don't see the people in the right places to give us that way out. I just don't see it. Schumer, Jeffries are not the guys. They're
No,
just not the guys.
no.
Okay, and as long as they're in those positions, you will never see a resistance that is needed during this time. I mean, you're talking about an existential threat to the United States from within.
Isn't that something?
And anybody who doesn't see it that way, anybody who thinks that I'm being hyperbolic or anybody who thinks that I am wrong or whatever, they are not watching the financial markets. Watch the financial goddamn markets. Watch what's happening globally. Watch the shift in the money. Watch the shifts that are going on with global trade and the trade deals that are happening. Every single thing that every day, right, we are moving away from being a world power. Every day, other countries are filling in for the void that we are leaving. You're this nationalism, this Zionism, this whatever the hell you want to call it, this imperialism, whatever like doctrine that is occurring right now, there is not an opposition to it anywhere.
It's not a coordinated opposition. We're because, just like the size of our country is such a challenge for them to take over as far as in terms of authoritarianism, it is also such a big country and so many people to for us to organize and coordinate with each other for a coordinated resistance. So just the sheer size and all the people here. It isn't like, you look at we'll bring France. Something happens and everybody can just converge on Paris and just tear the place apart to get their voices heard. I would love to see, like, we had 7 million people at the last No Kings. I would love to see 7 million people march through Washington because that's where you're going to get
But you
heard.
but you said it. You said it before we joined the podcast. We are the most propagandized nation on earth.
And that is the biggest problem.
How do
That's
you yeah,
that
how do you pierce that veil?
And this is the only way. This is the reason why we started this podcast. Well, we started it for a local issue, but we've continued and we've moved on to more because national politics affects everybody everywhere in the country. To get our voices out there, to help fill that algorithm and fill that space, to raise all voices of podcasters in this space, so that people can hear and maybe just turn the goddamn broadcast TV off. The best thing I ever did was get rid of Spectrum. All I have is internet because I don't watch the TVs. When I go to my mom's house, she's got Fox on. I know that she truly believes what she's hearing is fact. It's not that she's just all this mag and she's this mean person. She has just been receiving this influx of just hammering of bullshit over and over and over. Some people, mostly the younger ones, I see are starting to wake up because they can see that this man made promises. I mean, he had like three, maybe four main things, right? He was going to lower costs on day one. He was going to, right? He's going to get rid of all the murderers and the rapists, the criminal illegals. That's what he was going to go get, and he was going to end all the wars. Oh, and on a side note, he was going to expose all the pedos and rapists. Well, he's protecting the pedos and rapists. He's starting all the wars. Everything's going to go out.
Uh, hold on. He exposed all the rapists and pedophiles, right? He did do that, right? And this war that he started may end all wars.
Yeah.
So again,
Yeah, right.
again, it's like Nostradamus, right? It's
Oh,
Nostradamus, right?
God.
Everything comes down to how you interpret what you're being told.
The war to
okay?
end all wars. Yeah, yeah. He didn't mention that
I
part.
I I I I it's really funny. I always in that in not a funny way, but everything is open to interpretation, and what I find is really interesting is, I hear a politician tell me something, okay? And I automatically see the bullshit and I understand the dog whistles and I can just like I hear what they're saying, right? I
Yeah.
don't hear the propagandist bullshit, okay? But for some reason, people, it's like they don't trust their politicians. They think all their politicians are liars, but yet somehow every time a politician says something, right, it's like immediately like that's the word. That's
That's
it. That they just believe it.
Yeah, because if it's coming from their politician, it's coming from the other side, then they're the ones that are liars. Folks, you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. In truth, we're seeing, and we've said it many times here, we are dealing with controlled opposition. So we've got people on our side that are still aligned with what's happening on the other side, and their job is to just throw just enough crumbs at us to make us think they're kind of resisting with excuses. "Oh, well, we can't. We wanna resist, but we really can't because we just don't have the power." And so
I just
yeah, you know?
I just I just want people to understand what's happening. They are going to extract every single dollar that they can of wealth and resources from this country and leave you with the debt,
Yep,
right?
and they can go
And that may
anywhere.
not seem like a big thing right now because the US prints money and yada 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 and taxes aren't going up and you could say whatever the hell you want. But what Mamdani said, what I have seen, right, with municipal finances, what we saw here in the town of Walk Hill, right? All these budgets are built, okay, on whatever you want to call it, on an illusion,
Yeah.
right? On a magic trick, right? Of we're going to borrow from our future to pay bills now, type of thing. All these budgets are upside down. If you're not looking at your municipal budget and not understanding it, ask questions. It is likely upside down, okay? And and
Amazing.
and you have to understand everything is built on this idea oh well, we're going to get bailed out, and sometimes you get a grant and sometimes you get some more sales tax, but we're no longer in those days. The good old days are done.
Yeah.
We've gone through a very long period of hey, we had some good times, but you know what, the good guy doesn't always win. The Disney ending doesn't always happen, okay? And now we're there. Now we're there, okay?
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's heartwarming. Well,
Welcome to my
look,
world.
it's interesting that you're talking about, how it's gonna end. Found a interesting post here, um, that, I'll share, then you can tell our listeners what you think, and I'll tell you what I think. So, I can't see the name here because I screenshot it and cut the name out. So I apologize, whoever you are. He posted 3 options that Trump could do and what could be the results. So, option 1, which is something my husband predicted, is that Trump declares victory and retreats. And so that means the U.S. loses the Middle East forever. Israel's days become numbered, and they're being hammered right now. Iran rebuilds and comes back stronger. America looks weak to every adversary on earth. I think we kind of looked that way already. And Trump's legacy equals another Afghanistan. This is looking to be already far worse than Afghanistan. Plus, we don't have support of NATO. Option 2, which is what we talked about earlier, which is boots on the ground. That's going to mean massive casualties, guaranteed. Iran is the size of Alaska. I talked about this, 90 million people, all mountains. The U.S. couldn't beat the Taliban in 20 years with full NATO support. Iranian drones are shredding conventional military strategy. New generation of Iranian commanders are smarter than the ones they killed with no exit strategy. And just stopping on the drones here, Iran have the ability to build. These drones are very inexpensive for them to build. They can build up to 500 a day, and they work with Russia on them. So, of course, Russia is giving them intelligence support. So, yeah, so we got that. And then option 3 is just not to scare people, but option 3, if Trump decides nuclear weapons. The moment a nuke hits Iran, the entire world turns against the US, which I think we're already getting there if we're not there already. Russia and China enter the chat immediately. Pakistan, Iran's nuclear neighbor, retaliates. Radiation poisons the entire region, including Israel. Mad protocol activated, civilization at stake. So, yeah. So here's what nobody wants to say out loud. The U.S. has, I think I cut part of this off. The U.S. has the greatest Air Force history, and in 8 days of bombing, 8 days of bombing, they've received they've achieved political assassinations of leaders who were too arrogant to hide, despite the fact that we had our entire military building up for weeks, and the leaders still just kind of went to the office every day. So they were out in the open and were easy targets. So I think we were thinking this was going to be like another Venezuela. But had they, just used a little, just kind of looked ahead and saw the writing on the wall and went in hiding, this wouldn't be the case. The fact is that Iran is still functioning without these leaders. Not to mention the leaders that Trump wanted to put in their place and killed them too. So they're still going along. What do
How
you
about
think?
how about this? All of the above. All of the above.
You think?
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, well, he is
1, 2,
kind
and
of.
3.
Yeah, he has already
1, 2,
kind.
and 3.
You think that?
You listen, Hitler and sorry, Hitler and Germany, I mean, how long did that war take? You were talking, 5 years, 6 years, I mean, you have no idea. Like, this is not gonna be in and out. We were in Iraq and
I agree.
Afghanistan for 20 years. I mean, the Strait of Hormuz is no longer even open, okay? OPEC is looking at dropping the dollar and going with the petro one. Carney in Canada is making deals to transact in other currencies. The only thing that makes America great is the fact that the dollar is the reserve currency. Sorry to say that to people. Maybe that's a shocker to you, but if the dollar crashes, that's it. That's your pension. That's skyrocketing prices. You're talking about scarcity. You're talking about global interference with with supply chain, right? In addition, like, ask yourself this: if they move to a different currency as the reserve currency, who's going to transact in the dollar? How are we buying goods and services?
It's a
How are
good
we
question.
importing anything? Okay. All right. This is not an overnight thing. I don't believe that this is going to be like overnight tomorrow, boom, this is going to happen. Okay. Just like everything else I've said, shit takes time.
Right, for the
There's a lot
snowball
that can
to
happen.
hit
There's
before
a
it finally
still
gets there.
right, right. So just as I said, we have 3 weeks with the Strait of. If the U.S. can somehow, right, be successful in navigating the strait and escorting those tankers out without getting hit, okay, that's great. That may delay, right, timing. Okay, I don't think it's ever gonna stop it, but that could delay timing. Okay, I don't know if the U.S. has enough bombs to get to the end of this thing faster than this whole snowball effect is going to occur, given the fact that you now have 2 desalinization plants that have also been
Yes.
blown up in the region, okay? Right? I mean,
Just
they
kinda
this
just
is
explain what those are for our audience so they understand what they are, because I know it has to do with
so
water.
right, desalinization plant takes salt water and basically filters out the salt to, create fresh drinking water. This is how they survive in the Middle East, off of these desalinization plants. And what we're seeing with Iran is Iran is not attacking the United States. Let's be clear, okay? They are attacking the global supply chain,
So that everybody gets
okay?
hit.
They are attacking the global markets. Their goal is to disrupt and destroy American hegemony, okay? That is their goal, okay? They feel that the global market is built on this idea of US dollars and OPEC and the petrodollar. If they can destroy that, they destroy America, okay? And all they are trying to do is outlast America until that happens, okay? That's it, right?
And
This war can be simplified right down to that. Anybody telling you anything else, "Oh, we get this person, we do this, boots on the ground," it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
it's all money.
This all has to do with global trade and money right now, right?
Let me ask you a
Iran is
question. Let me ask you a
yes,
question.
sure.
Do you think that this is, being that they did this eyes open, this was the plan all along to disrupt it in this manner, in this stupid start this stupid war in this stupid way? Because, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it isn't in other
Oh
words,
my god.
okay, let me kind of rephrase the question here, okay? A lot of things that I'm seeing online, people saying,
Yes.
"Oh my god, they weren't planned, they don't have an exit strategy, they did this all stupid." At least we had support with the other war with NATO, we don't have that kind of support. I feel like this was destruction from within, kind of in the same way like what we did to the Soviet Union, which I mean, we killed their economy and the country collapsed. And I feel like this is
Bingo.
deliberate to do that to America.
Bingo.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Anybody who has spent any time, right? So the people who Trump fired
yeah,
in the FBI,
yeah. The one who
right?
knew what they were doing.
They right, they studied the Middle East and they studied, the, if you had followed anything that Putin, all right, the president of Russia, had said, done, written, this is exactly what he wrote about. This is exactly what he wanted. He had been talking about this since the 90s. Okay.
Interesting.
He had stated from the very beginning that the only thing stopping global markets from growing, the only thing that really inhibits global markets is American hegemony.
Yes.
Okay? It's the idea that America continue to interfere with global trade and global markets. And, I mean, granted, he was speaking from a standpoint that America continued to put sanctions on Russia. So he kept talking about the fact that Russia wanted to enter the global market and kept getting prevented by America because America, right, at the time, the billionaires and the political class didn't want Russia to be part of that elite group. They
Got it.
really didn't want Russia building that that dominance worldwide again. Um
Yeah. Look at where we are
so
now.
I think it was just the perfect storm. I think they got their guy in Trump, who was willing to basically do anything, right, that they wanted. And I think, you had a guy like Netanyahu, right, who basically he's wanted this war. I mean, like,
Oh,
listen,
he said
listen, you
it.
can go back
Been waiting
you
40
can go
years for
back to the
this.
'80s, right? Like, go back to the '80s, he was saying that Iran was 2 weeks away from the bomb, right? Like, I mean, like,
I know.
he's wanted this right. He's wanted this war forever. So, I think it was sort of like you had Putin, really good friends with Trump, egging Trump on. I think it was like really kinda like the perfect storm to undermine America. And then you have all the propaganda that was pumped in through Fox News, right? CNN, NBC, ABC, MSNBC. You had all this propaganda being shoved down our throats, okay, to the point where people didn't realize, what made America great, you know? They didn't realize like America was more,
Yes,
that there was more going on, that we were a world power and what that means to be a world power. You had Republicans continuing to undermine that. You had Democrats, feckless Democrats that refused to stand their ground and be an opposition party. We are the richest country in the world, right? But all that wealth is concentrated to a few people up at the top. Okay, we don't have universal health care. Other first world countries have universal health care. Why don't we have universal health care? Because we've been propagandized by the corporations that are profiting off of sick people to ensure that we don't have that. Okay? So we just need to stop. Like, there are real conversations that actually need to happen that we're not having because there are too many people at the table who don't understand what's going on. Instead of
exactly.
listening, you know, Neil deGrasse Tyson said it best, right? He said he was really concerned about our democracy, right? Our government, because there were too few people who were experts in their areas or in their field to be, and we weren't listening to those people. So, not listening to scientists, not listening to economists, not listening, like, we've
Just
decided
listening to crisis actors on Fox.
it's all influencers now. I mean, like, this is literally is like you go to watch the movie Idiocracy, right? Like where the guys are wearing the medallions and they're like, "Oh, these are the smartest people," and the one guy's like, "We need to like water our plants with Gatorade because it has electrolytes," like, I mean, these are the people in charge, right? And there's this like anti-education movement that we're education is bad for America and Americans, and it's it's
Unbelievable.
crazy. It's
Unbelievable.
crazy.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
right.
went on
Casey
a little
said
bit of
it.
and I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but it it really is true that people just don't understand, like, what's about to happen, and the pain that they're about to see, right, in their daily lives.
Well,
Right?
here's
They're so
I can speak
focused
to
on
that a little
immigrants
bit.
and the SAVE Act that they don't realize the pain that's about to be
Yeah,
inflicted.
I'll make mention something briefly about that. But um, the fact is that you go into these red states that have been taken by Republicans over the years, and they've killed the education. They've lowered they haven't raised wages. People aren't making money. They, as you said, we don't have health care. They don't have job opportunities. So they're already struggling. They're already feeling pain. So for them, having the rest of having this pain come on to the country, they won't initially feel it because they're already dealing with pain every day. So it's like, what's the big deal? Folks, shit's about to get real. It's gonna be a lot worse. Listen to what Neil is saying here. Um, can you afford you were upset about $3 a gallon gas. What are you gonna do at 7? What are you gonna do at 7? You know? Um,
What are you gonna do when there's a gas shortage?
you g
Listen, we could talk about $7 a gallon gas, right? I mean, we're headed toward that.
what
But
about
what about gas
rationing?
shortages? What
Rationing.
about rationing, right?
You
I mean,
guys, a lot of
are
you
we get
a lot of you guys are who might watch this might not be, aren't in our age group if you're younger. I can remember being a kid and my mom being on the gas lines and having people siphon the gas out of the tank. She woke up to go to work and her gas tank was empty one day.
you're talking about food lines, bread lines again, right? You're talking about scarcity in the supermarket, right? You know, this is what people don't understand. Gas, petroleum runs the world. Okay? Energy runs the world. 40 anywhere up to 40%, 20 to 40% of all goods and services that are purchased in this country, right? There have energy costs associated with them.
The manufacturing,
All
shipping.
right. Sorry, 100% of have 20 to 40% energy costs associated. So anytime you buy something, roughly about 20% of the cost of making that product, minimum, right, comes from energy, some type of energy to make it happen. Okay? That's what I mean. So the idea that we could end up in an energy shortage, roving blackouts, right? Like, I mean, we have to be prepared that what we're looking at here. And it's not like, oh, I can go out and get a generator. Where are you getting the gas to
To fill
operate
the
the generator?
generator.
Right. How much are you going to be willing to pay for that gas? Are you going to be able to afford the $7, $8 a gallon? And that may be the minimum.
I use a generator in my business every day. I can tell you they burn gas faster than the truck does, and I have a big ass van that I drive every day. They burn a lot of gas. So if you have a whole house unit, forget about it.
They're talking, so if you equate $80 a barrel to $4 gasoline, right? What happens when we're talking $200 a barrel?
You're talking $8 to $10 a gallon now.
And that's not, you know, those conversations are happening. All right. In fact, what you see is you see people buying futures because people know that gas prices are going up. So people are like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to buy, at $80 a barrel or $100 a barrel cuz I know it's going to get up to 200." You know? That's what we're seeing right now. So you're going to find that those rich people that you don't want to tax, MAGA, are sitting there going out and buying oil to ensure that they have theirs, right? Or that they could sell it to you for a steep markup later down the road. Okay?
There
So
you
that
go.
they can profit off you some more and extract more of your wealth.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing right now.
just keep hitting regular people. Regular people who, by the way, worked hard, paid taxes that they benefited from either through tax breaks or through contracts that they've used, made money off of probably off the interest off of our how many of these billionaires have attacked retirements, right? And have raided retirements and have made money for themselves while the rest of us, starve.
They also get free money. They also get free money. Like,
Free money?
you don't seem to
How do I get the
understand. It's not just the money but they also get the money, like, the banks get the money that get lent to them, right? Like, so they sit there at the discount window, they're borrowing money at, like, 0.5% or whatever, right? Loaning it to their friends, and then we end up paying for that because that's our money that's being given to them.
Yeah, and then we get screwed if they lose it.
this is what's happening. This is what's happening is the fact that, again, America, this is the corporate private equity takeover of the United States. They are just leaving us with the debt. They are taking everything else. They are going to sell everything. Trump is going to, say, oh, I need to sell these assets to pay for my war. Congress won't authorize the money, yada, yada. I mean, you're going to hear everything under the sun for him to sell off assets, right? And who's going to be on the other side buying it? It's going to be him and his friends. Him and his friends will be buying up all the assets, right? Because you gave them all the tax breaks, okay? And we're going to be the ones that end up paying for the war with our lives and our money. And they're going to take away everything out of here, and then they're going to go live in Bora Bora, or they'll live in some other
Yeah,
country.
they
They'll
they
find some
can they
other
can go
country.
anywhere.
Right.
So
Right.
so folks, what do you think about that? I am really curious. Want to hear from people here. But look, um try and be try and be positive. Is there anything? What do you think we could do? I mean, should we be buying up certain currency? Should we all be buying the yuan right now? Should we be taking our money out of our retirements and putting it in a mattress? I asked that last week.
For people, listen, there are people smarter than me that know that, but my feeling is you have to have money. Anything you want to do, you have to have money to be able to do it. It's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, well, our
You know,
money's not gonna, from what you're saying, our money's not
like
gonna be
like
worth anything.
buying barrels of oil. If you can afford to buy barrels of oil in futures, do that. Like that the price is going to be going up
Yeah, that
one way or another.
jeez, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, Marty likes futures and commodities. Oh man. Okay, can we take our audience out on a positive note anyway in the meantime, and just look,
Go
folks,
for
look,
it.
this is very heavy, and we could certainly get into more of the weeds of the war. I think we've gone pretty far here, so we can talk about more in a separate episode. But look, there's a lot to take in here, and our job here is to try and keep you informed with the information that you might need, that you might to help you sort of navigate as things happen. Um, this war is never a good thing. My hope is somebody with a brain, an adult, steps up in the room and puts their foot down. Um, it's a hope, but I do think we still need to. If you haven't been, well, you got to contact your representatives. You got to be on them. You just got to be on them. They got to hear how we feel. There is a positive note. If in case you forgot to turn your clocks ahead, it was spring forward last night. So we are 1 hour closer to the midterms.
Well, so I'll leave us on a positive note, right? So today we lost an hour. Today is also International Women's Day. So leave it to a man, okay, to to find a way to screw women again, right? By taking 1 hour out of their day.
Yes, this is true.
And selling them short. So instead of 24-hour International Women's Day, instead of it being 24 hours, it's 23 hours. So happy International Women's Day. Men screwed you again.
Wonderful. Well, listen. this- Thanks. So look, folks. Hey, comment. Let us know what you think. If you're a woman, let's hear what you guys say about that. And look, if you need a moment, read a book, watch a movie, take some time out for yourself, keep your head clear. All right? And we will see you soon. I love you. Take care, guys.
Peace out.
If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps to support the work we're doing and helps others find the show. We'd also love to hear from you, so please remember to leave us a comment and let us know what you think. And just a reminder, every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern is our live stream where you can join us, interact, and share your thoughts in real time. Lastly, we truly appreciate this growing community and look forward to bringing you more content in the future. Thanks so much for watching.